Such a simple idea, yet so important because decisions are everything, right? We're making decisions all the time, most of them from inertia, from what we've done in the past. What you said is that's one of our bigger threats that we have. So is there a threshold in when you write that decision into the decision journal about like how big it has to be? I can see the big ones for sure, but maybe the little ones should be in there too.
They should. And the tool that my clients use is really just a map. It's a decision-making map. And they use that map on a regular basis to try to chart out their decisions. They can see, oh, here I was like feeling super angry. Or very popular one, here I was feeling really guilty. I have, particularly when it comes to whether to keep an employee or not, I have an acronym. It's not originally from me. It's from a great book called Emotional Blackmail, but it's called FOG, Fear, Obligation, and Guilt. And a lot of decisions are made from FOG. And so a lot of it is helping clients, particularly at the time of COVID and what to do with your employees and what to do with your business. So, and learning how to work through the fog so that they can make a clear decision and feel really good about a decision, even though it's a hard decision.
The idea of fog kind of connects me back to something you mentioned earlier about the natural boundaries that we used to have prior to remote work. And for some companies, it hasn't changed. But for those of us that have gone remote and haven't been remote before, we don't have those natural boundaries between work life and home life. And I imagine fog could actually come into that as well. The fear, obligations, and guilts that are driving, do I work later? Do I not? How do I blend that? What advice do you have for those that are, relatively new to the remote work lifestyle in terms of setting that boundary and maintaining their wellness in a work life integration, like you mentioned?
Yeah, and by the way, I love the integration because that's actually what it really comes down to, and it is really all about boundaries. By the way, I love the word. That's not even my word. It's Dr. Henry Cloud, who I totally adore. He's got a great series of book on boundaries, but it is setting physical boundaries, time boundaries, and emotional boundaries. So, for example, something as simple as if my husband was home today, there would be boundaries around. Okay, honey, I'm not available between 3 and 4 because I've got a podcast, or I'm doing client work between 9 and 12. Let's stop for lunch, and so we literally chart out a schedule so that we can be clear and in agreement on what to expect from each other, because boundaries are expectations and they need to be negotiated based on what the needs are of a family with children and homeschooling and that. So the key is to talk frankly and openly. Here's what I need. What do you need? What do the kids need? And then how do I chart that in the calendar? Calendar is our best friend. And then how do I chart that? How do I map that out with spaces in the house? Like even a room or a corner of the living room, boundaries are a lot of different places: emotionally, physically, psychologically, and spiritually.